It's Kiki's Delivery Service fanfiction, but really good. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob, I'm the Cowhat Librarian, and I'm here today to talk to you about Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by the very talented Julie Abe. Now, if you picked up this book for the first time and you're a fan of Kiki's Delivery Service, you might be tempted to write it off. The basic story beats at the beginning seem very familiar. Eva is about to be a novice witch. Her mother is a talented Grandmaster Witch, and Eva shows that the magical apple sometimes falls far from the magical tree. She's not very magical at all so far, but nevertheless, she heads to the magical bookstore in their town as a prelude to getting her novice quest that will give her her license as a novice witch. And as part of this test, she has to go live in another village for a time and make herself useful to the village and have the village's mayor sign off that she's completed her test and recommend her for promotion. So Eva heads off and heads to the bookstore and finds out that her name has been left off the novice list. She and her mom are both shocked and they head to the council to clarify things. And after a bit of fussing, Eva's granted her ticket. The ticket will get her onto a local train, and the ticket will flare up when she reaches the village that is in need of her services. So Eva packs up her things, says goodbye to her mom and dad, and heads off on the train. But in the process of helping another passenger with the bit of magic she does have, Eva becomes exhausted and falls asleep, and wakes up at the end of the line, her ticket long since having been reduced to ash. So she decides to try to make the best of it and fit in with the village she ends up in, a village on the sea. She heads off and talks to the mayor, and the mayor grudgingly allows her to try to complete her quest there, but doesn't make any promises. And over the course of things, Eva makes some friends and gains a firefox as a pet, and gradually learns more about herself and her magic. She eventually learns that her magical talent is in fixing things rather than creating new things. So while she might not be able to magic up a brand new pipe to replace a leaky one in a shop, she can use a little bit of putty and a magical spell to mend it quite well. Now, some of her magic has some odd side effects. Two feuding family members in a town have competing businesses, a cloudberry shop and a corn shop, and her magic inadvertently joins the two stores together. And Eva continues on her way for quite some time until something really big happens. There's a magical storm that appears in their land every so often called the Culling, and it's coming right towards the village that Eva's in. And so she has to use the little bit of magic she has to try to prepare the town for the Culling, to try to, against all odds, to protect it. It's fantastic. Eva is a very real and likable and believable character. Her flaws make her very relatable, and it's very nice to see magic that doesn't come easily to someone. She's not a genius. She has a heck of a shadow in her mom being a grandmaster, and she does her best in spite of all that. And I really liked her. I liked her friends. I liked the town she went to. I really just enjoyed the heck out of it. Now, I love the anime for Kiki's Delivery Service, and when I started reading this, I was worried that it was, as I said before, fan fiction. But it's its own thing, and it's delightful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And if you like Kiki's Delivery Service, if you like the Harry Potter series, if you like anything with kids doing magic and having it be fairly lighthearted and clean fun, Eva Evergreen is fantastic. And better yet, there's a sequel coming later this year. Now, I won't spoil the specifics, but the ending shocked me, quite honestly, and I was all set for it to just wrap up and be happily ever after. I did not expect the author to set up a sequel, and I'm so happy she did. I can't wait for it. I hope the sequel lives up to the billing that this one has earned. The sequel is going to be called Eva Evergreen and the Cursed Witch, if I remember right, and I can't wait for its publication date. So, if you're looking for something to read and you really, really like young wizards and witches and mages, give Eva Evergreen a try. Now, with that said, there are spoilers ahead because I have to talk about the deal breaker. Now, I loved this book. It was great. But there was one thing that put me off a bit, and I'm going to call it Broom Ex Machina. Early in the story, Eva's broom that allows her to fly is damaged quite badly by a firefox. And over the course of the book, she gradually repairs the broom. And I suppose the author intended it to be a way of showing how her ability to use her magic to repair things progresses. And it served that role reasonably well. But at every point of the story where she absolutely needed her broom, it was repaired to the exact point of being able to accomplish the task, but not one tiny bit more. If Eva had lost one more bristle from her broom, she would not have been able to accomplish the major points in this book. If she had retained one more bristle, the tasks that were challenging would have been fairly easy, at least according to how the logic of the broom seems to work. As I said, it may have been a way of showing how she was progressing, but in terms of the story itself, her broomstick felt very, very, very convenient at every point of the story. Still, that's a minor, minor nitpick. If you are really, really put off by Deus Ex Machina, it might put you off, but in spite of that, I highly recommend this book. Go give it a try. Go borrow it from your local library. With that, thanks for joining me, folks, in the Cowhat Library, and I'll talk to you again. Bye now.